the gym isn't for everyone, so I'm just not going to go to the gym and improve my body, improve my health, build sick biceps, and not go. Just because I believe that it is not for everyone. First off, bro, we need to realize that the gym is for everyone. And when we can zoom out and understand and be aware of the fact that the only person who is responsible for becoming the guy who goes to the gym is you. As men, we can't hold our identity and be so scared to change out of the fear of like comparison, of thinking that, oh, I can't go to the gym because this is my starting point and this guy's been going to the gym longer and he's bigger than me. And then if I go, I'm going to compare myself to him and he's on a higher level than me and I'm just not going to feel good. So I'm going to give up altogether. I understand you, bro, and I know how much discipline it requires to be consistent with going to the gym. But by you saying it's not for everyone has to be the biggest cover up and lie and live in belief that I'm here to destroy for you right now. I started lifting weights back in 2018 when I just turned 16 years old, year 10 here in high school in Australia. And the funny thing is, it didn't take much of me at first to be consistent. Just because I had friends who would go, I would really want to feel like socially included, so I would go with them. And I was the skinniest out of all of my friends. I was weighing 63 kilos, soaking wet. I'll chuck some pictures of the screen if you are kind of like unfamiliar with my journey. And I'm going to be honest with you, bro. At the very beginning, I would speak to my friends and I would ask them the question of how long would it take for me to start seeing results? And one of my close friends at the time, Luke, he said, Adrian, honestly, I think we'll achieve a pretty sick physique if we can stay consistent for 2 months. 2 months. 60 days probably consists of around 20 to 30 workouts, because back then we would like overtrain like retards, just because we actually had like so much fun going to the gym every single day. After school, we would catch the bus, finish school around 3 p.m., catch the bus, take us like 30, 40 minutes. The funny thing is, though, we wouldn't even go to the gym first. We would actually go to some sort of like plaza really close to the gym before, which had a bunch of like fast food options for us to destroy. HSPs, Krispy Kreme donuts, pizza, fish and chips, chicken and chips, everything we would annihilate because we were dirty bulking. And then we'd go to the gym and like try train with max intensity, although we had like so much fucking brain fog. We would still, I'd say, get it done and we were all motivated to learn. But the funny part is that when we hit that 2 month point and we looked in the mirror and we noticed that, oh my God, we actually haven't achieved as much gains as we thought we would have. Like my biceps, I measured them when I started lifting. My biceps were 12 inches and they're still. Why isn't this working? I say to my friends, I haven't changed. Are we doing something wrong? Obviously, yeah, we kind of were. Our sleep was fucked, our diet was fucked, our training was even more fucked. The fear and like the doubt actually started to creep in of, oh, maybe the gym isn't for me. And not the fact that I just need to keep pushing myself and keep learning to become who I want to be and to make progress faster. Not because any of that. I'm just going to have this insecurity and limited belief and believe because whatever I believe is true. And I'm going to believe that the gym isn't for me. What path did you think I took? Do you really think after 2 months, 30, 40 workouts, I would have stopped? Or do you think I started to embed the mindset of, you know what? Although I didn't achieve the progress I wanted to achieve in the first 60 days, this has actually become kind of fun. And internally, I know I'm doing the right things. Like, I'm going to the gym, I'm committing the right actions. And I know if I do the right actions over a long period of time, the results will show anyway. Like, I will be able to bounce my pecs. I will be able, I can't speak right now. I will be able to build more mind muscle connection with all of the muscles in my body if I can erase limiting beliefs and start to believe more in myself and believe and almost like change my identity and say to myself that I am the guy who deserves muscle. I'm not going to be the guy who says, oh, it's just not for me. Because that's a very like avoidant mindset. And by saying that, I or you are achieving your goal of to not go through pain and discipline and to remain the same forever. Like, okay, if you say the gym's not for you and you don't go to the gym, now you're not committing the actions to build muscle and make the gym for you. So you actually are kind of right. The gym wouldn't be for me if I didn't go. But by me going, I am making the gym for me. I am welcoming the gym in my life. I am welcoming muscle in my body parts. I am becoming a more happier, vibrant, muscular, don't mean to flex, but version of myself. The gym is 100% for you. And by you saying it's not, it is just your avoidance and your fear of becoming someone who you believe you can become, but who you also believe some risk is involved. When in reality, bro, there is like no risk involved. Obviously, okay, the risk of getting injured. Very small if you're learning off someone or YouTube videos or ChatGPT or whatever to build muscle in the most healthiest and sustainable way. Like, we all learn in high school how important physical activity is. But I'll tell you what's funny and something I noticed as soon as I finished high school. It's that most people don't take their physical health as of seriously. I finished high school 5 years ago, and I can sit here and authentically say that when I look at most people who are in my year level, I'd say like over 50 to 60% are now like out of shape, if not worse. And the scary thing is that gap, that ratio is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The guys who care about their fitness are gonna become fitter and fitter and fitter and fitter. The people who neglect it and just make excuses and say, oh, it's just not cut out for me, I just can't do it, are going to keep digging themselves a deeper and deeper and deeper hole. And it's going to be harder and harder and harder to climb out of that hole and then to become the guy who actually welcomes gym into his life. I'm 23 and I don't want to like suck my own, you know what, but I'd like to say I'm pretty confident with the amount of like education I know personally about physical health, whether it be about diet, training, whatever. Even like running now, I've become like extremely educated in. I just did 200-meter intervals for 6 sets with my close friend yesterday. And by implementing running in my routine, it has just compounded my gym sessions just because I'm so much more fit now. And I don't mean any of these like marathon, crazy, crazy, crazy long distance runs, as like cool and fun as they are. I mean more like explosive sprint work. Look at like sprinters and see how jacked they are compared to like marathon runners. We're all like kind of aware of the difference between the two. But I just find it so amusing how the people who say the complete opposite of what you can say the right person says, they are just they are so stuck in their own way of thinking. This stubbornness. And this is coming from a guy who I'd like to say is like pretty stubborn. And it's something I'm trying to work on even right now. Like, I want to be the guy who can take criticism. I want to be the guy who doesn't get offended when someone tells him he's doing something wrong. From no matter how close this individual is to me in my life. It can be someone I've never met. It can be my family members. It can be my best friends. I want to be able to accept criticism so I can improve. Think of it like this: the better your ability to absorb criticism and adjust from it is, the more you will grow as an individual. And it applies with everything. It applies with your studies. It applies with your gym workouts. It applies with your business. It applies with your relationships. Your ability to absorb criticism and use it constructively. Okay, maybe every time the person who's criticizing you might be wrong and you want to share more of your own word. But it's always good to be open-minded. Being open-minded never serves you the wrong way. And that's why I guess you as the viewer, you're kind of challenging your openness skill by listening to me and trying to take action on the advice I give you and almost like criticizing you to raise this limited belief that by you thinking the gym isn't for everyone, you are achieving your goal of not going to the gym, and on deep down, on a very deep subconscious level, that is what you are valuing more right now because you think by going to the gym it will be too much pain and the rewards of going to the gym aren't worth it. So you'll continue to say the gym isn't for me to achieve your goal of not going to the gym. This brings me on to the next part of this video, and that's that if you're weighing this up in your mind thinking, is the gym worth it? Take this in from a guy who's been going for 8 years. It is 1000% worth it. It is the most fulfilling journey out of like probably any part of self-improvement. At the end of every session, literally this year, me and my friend, when we're done, let's say a chest day or push day, and we go in the mirror and we start tensing, we are just laughing of like happiness from like how fulfilled we are and like the progress we see in our physiques. Every session, we say, oh my God, we're a better, more muscular version of ourselves. Oh my God, we look insane. Now, this isn't me saying you need to go down the path of unnatural stuff and try to get muscle as fast as possible. No, 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 no. That's comparison, and we need to realize that we're all running our own race. We need to embed in our minds that as long as we're giving it our all naturally and we're trying our absolute best, we're pushing our absolute hardest in our workouts, whenever we leave those gym doors, we're going to walk out with the biggest smile, knowing we gave it our all. And that's what masculine energy is all about. Reaching our full potential, no matter how painful it was. That feeling and sense of progression is what makes us. And that's why right now, if you truly think about it, if you're like, oh my God, Adrian, I don't really feel like any sense or feeling of progression in any area of my life, what do I do? First off, you do, and it's most likely from video games, which you're not even aware of because they just sap your energy and drive. We've got to piss that off. Secondly, your actionable step for this video is, if you don't have one already, is I want you to get that gym membership. I'm going to be honest, bro. Yes, it's going to be painful at the start, but you're going to have to go through that pain eventually to become the guy who is accustomed to going to the gym. Like, what difference does it make by you delaying this decision? This, like, relatively micro small decision. What difference does it make by you delaying this decision a year from now and then deciding to go? If anything, all I see is purely just wasted time and coping. And I'm going to be honest, that version of you a year from now, if he decides to sign up then, he is going to be a whole lot more unlikely to do so. The more we delay something, the harder it's going to be to take action on. This is why, as men, we all, and I mean all of us, need to be go-getters. We need to have this primal energy of ruthless action taking. Because that is what is going to make us feel more like men. A man doesn't procrastinate. A man doesn't delay things. A man doesn't cope and think of excuses or makes up excuses that masturbate his ego to make him believe he's right, but it's only his own stubbornness that's right. Building muscle changed my life in every single way. And do I have the ambitions of hopping on a stage and being a bodybuilder and taking stuff which is unnatural? Right now, at the age of 23, no, I don't. Because I know there are so many ways to improve my testosterone naturally, and I don't need to be taking stuff which my body, quite frankly, doesn't need yet. Okay, maybe once I'm like past 30, 35, when my testosterone starts dropping naturally, okay, cool, then maybe it's the right decision to make. But right now, it is not the right decision to be making. And if you're in high school right now, you're still extremely young, and there is so many areas for you to become a better version of yourself. Think of being in high school. You need to be a sponge. Now, what does a sponge do when you squeeze it? Or when you put it under a tap, sorry. It absorbs as much of the water as possible. You being a sponge, you need to absorb as much advice, as much lessons, as much feedback and education as possible, because that is what is going to make you learn faster than the guy who's not a sponge, than the guy who's too stubborn, too arrogant, doesn't take in criticism, just pushes everyone away, because he always thinks what he does is right, and he has utmost conviction and certainty, which is okay to a degree. As a man, we need to have conviction with what we say, but we can't let that overtake our willingness to learn and hear from others, because everyone has an opinion, everyone has feedback, everyone has had different lives than what we have had. Building muscle improved my mental health. Going to the gym gave me a place to get into my flow state and not care about anything in the outside world, but just put my complete mind and focus on the task at hand. Whether that be bicep curls, shoulder press, chest press, pull down, row, squat, deadlift, RDL, calf raise, leg extend, whatever it was, ab crunch. The gym gave me a place to erase all of the negative thoughts that I had outside of the gym. And every single time I finished a session, I walked out of those gym doors with so much more clarity and guidance of what I have to do to tackle those tasks that were giving me negative thoughts or that I was overthinking about. That like 1 hour of pure focus helped me in every single area of my life. It made me grounded, which is probably a word that you don't even like really know what it means. Basically, right now, if you feel like you're getting lots of negative thoughts and you can't focus, you can't be present, you get anxious when you're talking to a girl, maybe even your friends, it's because of the fact that you're not as of grounded as you think you are. You're not present. Your brain is in like monkey mode with bunch of like unorganized negative thoughts that are controlling you and that are whispering your brain and telling you that everything you do is wrong. That's ungrounded. We need to become grounded. And what helped me become more of a grounded masculine man, it was putting myself in pain. That humbled me, that grounded me, that led me and pushed me to taking the right steps forward and having direction in my life. And it's funny, I made a video about saying, oh, building muscle won't build your bank account. But it does because it makes you grounded, it improves your decision making. I shat on that limiting belief months ago and it actually performed pretty well. And it's funny because in this journey of building the physique, I would have so many people in school saying, "Oh, you're getting jacked, but you're not making crazy money. You're not working a trade. You're not doing this. You're not doing that." But they didn't realize that I was improving. I was improving my mental health. I was improving my focus. I was improving my decision making. I was improving my ability to tolerate pain. Like you can say right now, me speaking behind the camera is a pretty painful task, which it used to be, but for present me right now, it's not as painful as much as it once was, just because I kept chipping away. I know I'm going a bit off topic here, but most people who work these jobs, these like 9 to 5s, yes, okay, at the start you're using your brain a little bit and you're learning, but most of the time the people who are stuck in these jobs for like 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 plus years, they are stuck because they are complacent and they don't use their brain, they turn their brain off, they're in airplane mode, and they value in their head that, okay, I would rather go to my job than put myself outside my comfort zone because at least my job I don't have to use my brain and it's nice and comfy. And I'm going to stay here and then shit on all the people who do go through pain to try hold them back because I know what I'm doing isn't the right thing, but I want to project this onto others. I don't think I've ever explained that well. Well, I think I've just impressed myself then. I've learned a lot this past year about self improvement. And there is no right or wrong ways to do things because at the end of the day, what is self improvement? We just want to become unapologetically as much of our authentic self as possible, but also be able to relate to people because that brings the social side in. And I guess I'm trying to like target every single area in my videos. I'm trying to help you build muscle. I'm trying to help you improve your confidence. I'm trying to help you read this book and that book and that book. A quote I heard is that the more you actively use your brain, the more successful you will be. And I'll tell you what the shameful thing is. It's that with the release of ChatGPT the last 3, 4 years, as convenient as it has made life be, it has made all of us use our brains less. To a degree. Like, okay, use the tools that are given to us to reach a higher level of success, to build muscle faster, etc. Like, learn more of ChatGPT, cool, cool, cool. But it has become our new comfort zone. And this is coming from a guy who would always use ChatGPT, even to help him make these types of YouTube videos. Whereas now, I actually had a conversation with my girlfriend, and she was saying how, Adrian, it is so unattractive if you just rely on ChatGPT. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, you're so right. There's not as much creativity. There's not as much passion. It's just me following a script. I need to cut that shit out. And that's what I've done. I've raw dogged this video, just speaking authentically for the last 25 minutes. And I know I've gone from point A to point B to point D, back to C, back to A. But I'm confident in the fact that this has been much more of an authentic type of video. And I had this conversation with one of my friends because he was saying how basically one of my close friends, Terry, I've been like, last year I really convinced him and motivated him to start going to the gym to improve his body, which he did, and he's made fucking crazy progress. And he has younger brothers, and he told me about how they were kind of saying, oh, the gym's not for everyone. And when he told me that, I just wish I could speak to them and let them know that it is. That we are all capable of becoming a better versions of ourselves. And the only person who is stopping us when we say something like that is ourselves. And not anyone else. It's not the gym's fault. Like, the gym is always there. The weights aren't going anywhere. The weights are waiting for you to go and lift them. You have a conscious mind. Dumbbells don't. So what makes you think it's not for you? You decide. You have to represent more of this masculine energy and say to yourself, I'm in control. I decide whether or not I'm going to go pick that weight up. I decide whether or not I'm going to get under that squat rack. Another story, when I went to Gold Coast 3 years ago with my friends, I remember I put an Instagram story of me at the hotel gym. My cousin replied saying, oh, why are you working out on a holiday? I'm going to be honest, I read it, I'm like, what aren't I working out on a holiday? This is fun. I have made the gym part of my identity. And if there is a day where I miss going to the gym, I will not be able to sleep at night. That's the type of energy you want to be in. Like, yeah, all of the superficial stuff, like the more muscle, the more attraction from girls, the more respect from guys, yeah, that's all kind of cool. But the most important thing, and the thing which I found personally made it such a fulfilling experience, is getting that sense of progress. That is the biggest thing. That is what made me want to experience this feeling of progress in other areas of my life, in business, with reading books, with meditating, with journaling. I just want to be that guy with running, interval runs, sprinting, etc. I want to be that guy who makes no excuses and who is progressing and who can look back on himself year after year after year after year and say, oh my God, last year I thought I was all that, but I was anything but that. And it's funny because every summer here in Melbourne, I look back, I always like to reflect on myself and see how much I've grown. And I always catch myself thinking, as if I thought like that last year, as if I spoke like that last year. Honestly, even like the sound of my voice, I genuinely feel, I've even got compliments from people saying my voice has gotten a lot deeper. Last year, I was still like really represented a lot more of this like boyhood, boyish guy. But from 22 to 23, I'm starting to feel more like a man. And this is from years of self-improvement. Not even talking about all the bad stuff, like the years of doing bad habits and being told what to do and almost being brainwashed by the education system, eating shit food, having shit sleep, fapping, all that crap, listening to feminine teachers and not masculine leaders. All of that stuff I've had to reverse by myself and through the help of like some other influencers that I've taken advice from. Once you feel more in control of the decisions you'll make, you'll soon start to realize that every single excuse you made. Now we've got an ambulance going by. I swear this has happened in another video. There are so many ambulances that pass by in my area. The more you grow, the more you start to feel in control. The more you'll start to realize that every single excuse that you once made wasn't about anything else but for your own comfort. Which does take a lot to say. Like, you're probably thinking, no, I didn't make this excuse. Adrian, it was raining, I couldn't go to the gym, so it was an excuse. Do you think I went, do you think I skipped the gym on the days it was raining? Fuck no. Pardon my language, but I went. If there are 100 people in a room and only one of them went to the gym when it was raining, are you going to be the type of guy who agrees with the pack and makes excuses like all of them? Or are you going to say, oh my God, 1 out of 100 did it? That is all of the confidence and validation I need to know that it is possible for me to achieve something. You are far more better off absorbing and utilizing that mindset. And it applies with everything. If one person got successful like this, no matter how hard and challenging he said it was, as long as he is proving it is possible, that is what is most valuable. I have proven through 8 years of hard gym workouts, proper nutrition, intense and relaxing sleep, 8 hours every night without fail. I have proven that naturally you can build a pretty sick aesthetic physique. Like, I'm now weighing like 90 kilos lean. I'm like 6 foot, 23 years young. If one person has proven something, that's all the validation I need to know that I can do it. Stop saying the gym isn't for everyone and start saying the gym is for me, because I decide whether or not I'm gonna go. And it's not anyone else's decisions. It's not my parents' decision. It's not the gym's decision. It's not he, her, she, whatever's decision. It is my decision. And I am going to take full accountability for my life and make the right choice. Go to the gym. If this video has motivated or educated you, I currently have my private school community. It will be the first link in the description. We have a discussion thread. We have pre-recorded courses on how to build the aesthetic Greek god physique. I'm also going to be hosting 2 live calls in there a week, Q&A session, and something I've learned personally throughout the week. Also plan on hosting private meetups so we can go for gym sessions together, runs together. Other than that, make sure to click the subscribe button and also a little bell icon. It'll kind of like remind you when I do upload these types of videos so you can watch them and educate yourself as soon as humanly possible. I'm gonna go get some steps in and I'll see you in the next video. Good luck, brother.